Hello to all the viewers tuning into the Mr. Twilight channel. Welcome to another episode in the series, Nighttime Horror Stories. Tonight, we won't be talking about tearful hugs after graduation ceremonies. This evening, I'll guide you past the rosy backdrop of the last day of school to reveal a chilling shadow quietly waiting to unveil a nightmare. The next 3 stories, 100% true, will show you why some students never want to speak of their graduation day. Because for them, it wasn't a farewell. It was a terrifying sentence. If you're ready to dive in, turn off the lights, put on your headphones and brace your heart. Because right now, we're stepping into the first haunting tale of last day of school. Story 1. The Ghost in the Bathroom. Water dripped steadily in the cold, empty girls' bathroom. Each drop echoed like a ticking clock, counting down to something dreadful. Sarah stood frozen, her trembling hand gripping the handle of the last stall. Suddenly, the worn wooden door slammed shut with a loud bang, making her heart skip a beat. The air turned icy, as if a chilling mist had crept into the room. From under the door, a dark red liquid slowly seeped out, forming puddles across the tile floor. A pale figure floated in the tight space. Long black hair hung like a curtain over its face, feet hovering above the ground. Empty eyes slowly turned upward, as if it had waited a long time just for Sarah. It was the last day of school. The halls buzzed with laughter and excitement. Sarah and her best friend Emily chatted about what to wear to the farewell party. "Hey, did you hear?" Emily asked, biting into an apple. "The girls from class Altoy B are doing a ghost summoning ritual in the 3rd floor bathroom." The 3rd floor bathroom? Sarah shivered. The one that's supposed to be haunted. Yay! They say a girl once got bullied so badly she took her own life in there. It's just for fun. "You scared? You've gone pale." Sarah didn't respond. That bathroom always gave her chills. At lunch, a group of students headed up to the 3rd floor. The old bathroom looked worn. Yellowing tiles, flickering fluorescent lights. Emily placed a small white candle in the center of the cold floor. The group formed a circle around it. "Well, say her name 3 times, holding hands," Emily explained. "If her spirit's still here, she'll show herself." "You're serious?" Sarah whispered, but reluctantly joined in. Amy. Suddenly, wind swept through the room, even though the windows were shut. The candle went out. In the pitch black, Sarah heard soft sobbing and the dragging sound of footsteps coming from the last stall. That night, Sarah couldn't sleep. A mysterious dark stain spread across her bedroom ceiling, dripping water. Every time she closed her eyes, she saw those ghostly white eyes, a soaked face, and heard the whisper, "Why did you wake me?" The next day, things got worse. Sarah kept experiencing sleep paralysis in class and heard someone whispering her name in the bathroom. Even when no one was there, Emily's nose began bleeding uncontrollably. Then, during lunch, she screamed and thrashed in the courtyard, shouting that someone was pulling her hair. Sarah had planned to stay far away from the 3rd floor bathroom, but a sudden, sharp stomach ache left her no choice. She ran in. It was empty. The sound of dripping water echoed steadily. As soon as she stepped inside, the door slammed shut behind her. She turned around. From the far end of the stalls, the 5th door slowly creaked open. A pale hand, with long cracked nails, slid out from the opening, clawing at the tiler. Then, a severed head rolled out and stopped right at Sarah's feet. The ghost glided forward, not walking, but hovering through the air. Sarah screamed, panicked, pulling at the doors, but none would budge. "Why did you wake me only to abandon Mech?" The whisper came from all around. The walls cracked. A red liquid, thick like blood, oozed from the seams between the tiles. Just as she felt something tightening around her neck, the hallway lights flicked on. An old janitor rushed in, shouting, "Leave her alone. You're not taking anyone else." The ghost let out a piercing shriek and dissolved into a cold white mist. Sarah collapsed, trembling from head to toe. Later, the janitor explained, that bullied girl's name was Ami. No one helped her. No one believed her. When she died, her soul remained angry and lost. Anyone who says her name 3 times in that bathroom wakes her up. After that incident, Emily transferred schools. Sarah, though safe, never went near that 3rd-floor bathroom again. Whenever she passed it, she always felt someone watching from the last stall. Would you dare say Ami's name 3 times in front of a mirror? Are you sure the reflection is really you? Or is she just copying your every move? Story 2. The Mysterious Janitor. If Sarah's story left your heart racing, then brace yourself as we descend into the second tale. One steeped in shadows and chilling silence. The damp basement echoed with the sound of lonely footsteps. Ethan frowned, sensing the icy chill of the floor beneath his shoes. Strangely cold for late spring. Behind him, the basement door slammed shut with a deafening bang. Every light flickered and died. Darkness swallowed the space. With trembling hands, Ethan fumbled for his phone and turned on the flashlight. The dim beam barely reached a few feet ahead, just far enough to reveal a still figure standing in the distance. "Why haven't you gone home yet?" A raspy voice scraped through the silence. Ethan froze as the flashlight caught the face of a tall man in a faded janitor's uniform. His skin looked pale as bone, sunken eyes revealing the shadow of his skull beneath. In one hand, the man held a ring of rusty keys, sharp edges slick with blood that slowly dripped to the floor. The University of Oxfordshire, built in the 18th century, exuded a haunting beauty. With its stone corridors, dark archways, and narrow halls, it captivated and unsettled first-year students like Ethan. On the last day of the school year, nearly everyone had left. But Ethan, distracted by the task of sorting old books, decided to spend one final night in West Wing Dormitory, the oldest and most infamously haunted building on campus. That night would become his greatest regret. As twilight faded, Ethan carried several boxes to the basement storage room. He'd heard the stories about a tragic accident that led to the basement being sealed off. But he never believed them. The air below was damp and thick with mildew. The stone walls were stained with black moss, and strange handprints had settled into the dusty surfaces. The moment he stepped inside, the heavy door slammed shut behind him. Every light flickered. Then silence. Then came a sound, faint, like nails scratching along brick. Ethan swung his flashlight to the left. Nothing. But he wasn't alone. From behind him, a voice rose, low, raspy, as if crawling up from the earth itself. "Why haven't you gone home yet?" Ethan spun around. In the darkness stood a man in an old, dust-covered janitor uniform. The name tag was rusted, only the letter W remained legible. He stood silently, head tilted, watching Ethan like prey. In his left hand, he clutched a massive iron key ring. each key as big as a grown man's hand. Blood dripped from their jagged edges, pooling onto the stone floor. Ethan somehow escaped through a side emergency exit. He collapsed in panic in the main hallway and blacked out. The next day, shaken and pale, he told everything to the dorm supervisor. The man fell silent, then returned with a dusty, yellowing folder. "Are you sure you saw that man?" Inside was a photograph of Walter Griggs, the dormitory manager from 1967 to 1982. Griggs had been found dead, grotesquely hanged, in the backmost storage room of the very same basement. No one knew why. Some claimed he went mad after being fired. But more disturbingly, university records showed a chilling pattern. Every year, 1 or 2 students disappeared on the final night of the school year. Every one of them had stayed behind and had gone down into the West Wing basement. An old security recording showed the last known footage of a missing girl. She entered the basement, and behind her, a tall, pale figure followed, clutching keys in his hand. Her body was never found, driven by a dangerous mix of fear and curiosity. A week later, Ethan returned to the basement, this time with 3 other students. They came prepared: cameras, floodlights, chest-mounted video gear. But after descending only a few steps, everything began to fail. The lights flickered, screens distorted, audio cut in and out. Then, a shout. "Someone's breathing behind me." The footage captured a towering figure blocking the hallway, eyes rolled white, mouth open impossibly wide as if ready to devour them all. The last frame was a blur, a rusted keyring swinging down with terrifying speed. Then, screams. Ethan survived. The others never returned. The university officially called it a missing persons case and permanently sealed off the basement. Even now, in sleep, he dreams of a dark hallway echoing footsteps and that same haunting voice, gravelly and cold as the grave. Why haven't you gone home yet? Story 3. Bus number 13. The night wind howled through the empty road, kicking up dust and shadows. A pale yellow bus, Road 13, crept silently through the mist like a predator stalking its prey. Jennifer stood by the roadside, shivering, eyes fixed on the headlights cutting through the fog. The bus door creaked open. The driver said nothing, his head bowed low. Inside, the bus was dark. Dust coated every seat. The windows were streaked and smeared as though untouched for years. Jennifer stepped aboard. The door shut. The bus began to move. Moments passed before the dread set in. This wasn't the route home. She rushed to the door. It was locked. The lights inside flickered violently, then went out. She turned toward the front. The driver slowly looked back. His face, grotesquely burnt, red flesh melted like wax, cheekbone exposed. His eyes glowed crimson. And then came the words, "This is your final ride." Black Hollow was a quiet town, with only one high school. That day marked the end of the school year. Jennifer, having stayed late for a farewell party, missed her usual bus. A school staff member had said, "There's one last ride. Bus 13. Not many take it, bah." With no other choice, she waited in the fading twilight. That decision would open the door to hell. Jennifer felt uneasy the moment she boarded. Besides a few shadowy figures sitting eerily still in the back rows, there were no passengers. She tried asking the driver about the route, but he gave no reply. The scenery grew strange. Dilapidated houses stood crowded together, their windows shattered. The trees were withered and blackened, as if scorched by fire. Jennifer realized the bus was leaving town. heading into a place that didn't exist on any map. From the back, she heard whispering. She turned. A woman with long hair sat slumped forward, murmuring she had no face. Beside her, a child sat by the window, quietly banging his head against the glass. Blood began to drip from his forehead. He turned and grinned at her. Unnaturally wide, disturbingly calm. Jennifer screamed, demanding the driver stop. He remained silent. His hands on the wheel began to shed skin, revealing bone, white fingers. Frantic, she searched her backpack and pulled out her phone. No signal. Scrolling through old files, she opened a news article she had once saved out of curiosity. May 25th, 20 years ago. Same day, same hour. Bus 13. Carrying 26 students and one driver, plunged off a cliff while returning home after the last day of school. There were no survivors. The crash was blamed on faulty breakers, but rumors later surfaced. The driver had a severe history of mental illness and may have intentionally driven the bus off the cliff. Jennifer began to realize something horrifying. The bus didn't run on fuel. It ran on fear. Every scream, every surge of panic made it accelerate. Road signs blurred past, scrawled in smeared blood. Each bore haunting names. Border of the dead, no way back, where we died. Bus doesn't stop. Finally, the bus veered off the road, descending into a cavern of pitch black. The driver stood. Slowly, deliberately, he walked toward her. When he opened his mouth, jagged, broken teeth lined the grin. We need someone new to keep the bus running. Jennifer screamed and pounded at the doors. Her voice cracked from the effort. Behind her, the other passengers stirred, twitching, crawling on all fours like monstrous beasts. Just as the driver reached for her, she snatched a ballpoint pen from her pocket and jammed it into his throat. He shrieked. His face ignited, burning as though soaked in flame. He staggered back, seizing the moment. Jennifer burst through the emergency exit and jumped. The bus was still speeding. She tumbled onto a gravel road, scraped and bruised. From the dirt, she watched bus 13 vanish into the night, leaving no tracks behind. Jennifer awoke in a hospital. A farmer had found her unconscious on an old rural highway. No one believed her story, but every year, on the final day of the school year, she received an envelope. Blank. No name. No return address. Yet under lamplight, blood-red words slowly appeared. Would you like to ride the final bus again, Jennifer? So, the final school bell has rung. Not just marking the end of a school year, but slamming shut the door of safety, revealing 3 terrifying shadows lurking behind the joyful farewell. What haunts me most isn't the blood or the ghosts. It's how fear sneaks into moments that are supposed to be beautiful. The moment we say goodbye to friends, teachers, and the innocence of youth. When that happiness is shattered, the memories left behind pierce the heart of anyone who witnessed it. If you've ever had a last day of school you can't forget, share it in the comments below. I and the community would love to hear your story. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell to support the channel and stay updated with more real horror stories. Thank you for watching until the end. Mr. Twilight wishes you a peaceful night.